It's been a long, dry spell for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After Spider Man Far From Home, all we had was the finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that barely even counts anymore in terms of larger MCU. We were supposed to have Black Widow back in May, but that's have been delayed until at least November thanks to COVID. Similarly, we are waiting for Marvel stuff to start packing into Disneyplus. Luckily, as we angrily pound the floor and wonder when we are going to get to the firework factory, Marvel has released a brand new trailer for WandaVision. Now, then let's look closer at his dressed up nightmare.
Heavenly shades of night are falling. It's twilight time. Out of the
Wanda and Vision.
We see Wanda Maximoff and Vision in a black and white setting in what appears to be any given 1950s sitcom. The two are newlyweds, which, as they will get to in a bit, is a bit of a head scratcher since Vision was last seen getting the Mind Stone getting torn from his skull in Avengers Infinity War. I'm not sure if it is creepier and more alarming that this Vision has what looks like the Mind Stone on his forehead than if he showed up fine without it. Due to Wanda having meta-human powers and Vision being an android, the two have to hide their true natures to fit in. This goes with classic sitcom concepts like Bewitched, I Dream of Jenny, Small Wonder, and even parodies like The Gone Heads.
Aren't we a five-pair?
This is our home now. I want us to fit in.
Oh, this is gonna be a gas!
Where did you two move from? How long have you been married?
About 30 seconds in, Vision is holding a newspaper. It's the Westview Heralds, and the headline appear to be Little Baby June's First Word Tickles Mother. Something it's probably a throwaway image, but as we already know from the first trailer and the history of our protagonist, babies play into their story in a big way. During dinner, Wanda uses her powers to pour out wine without manually holding the bottle. This wine is called Maison du Mépris, which translates to House of Contempt. More interestingly, if you just start with House of and leave the last word untranslated, you pretty much get House of M. There's even that big M on the neck of the bottle, giving it a subtle touch. House of M is the big Marvel storyline where Wanda lost her mind and lost control of her powers, thereby transforming the entire world into a reality where she and her family ruled and mutants were the dominant species. It would appear that there are elements of that story in play for WandaVision. This goes along with a shot later in the trailer where Wanda is straight up altering the living room on a streamed whim. Unlike the black and white section, she doesn't appear to have a handle on things at all.
Been married, and why don't you have children yet?
Our story.
I think what my wife means to say is that we moved from...
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
deep in the dark.
Deborah Giroux, that 70s show, plays a neighbor visiting the dinner with her husband. As she notably brings up them having babies, the big thing here is that she asks general questions about their background and neither has an answer to give. The visiting husband appeared to violently reject reality itself due to their lack of answers. Even throwing an impure damage into the 50s setting, as things appear to no longer make sense, reality seems to begin and unravel.
This is really happening.
Like days of old, lighting the spark of love that fills me.
Wanda wonders, is this really happening? This is when the images start to flash quickly. Now we are in setting that somewhere in between Brandy Brunch and Family Ties. At 45 seconds, we see the two of them playing with their babies. In the comics, Wanda gave birth to Vision's children, with the explanation being that Vision was so advanced as an android that he even had workable sperm. Over time, this was disproven and it was shown that these babies didn't fully exist. They were created by Wanda's power mixed with that of demons. This revelation ultimately broke Wanda, and we are destined to see that kind of damage in the MCU. Kathryn Hahn, where briefly appears at 45 seconds, decked out in some seriously 80s exercise threads. Look at her sitting on the counter. What a free spirit.
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Kathryn Hahn makes several appearances in the trailer. Early on, she seems like the fun neighboring during the 1950s sitcom sequences. Later, she is a wacky neighbor in 80s exercise gear. But during the MCU segment, she appears on Halloween. When Vision taps her on the head, she is fittingly dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. Confused, she points out what we know and Vision doesn't, he appears to be dead. Jump cut to her not only laughing but laughing like the Wicked Witch of the West. Not only is the witch connection near, but it's another story that goes from black and white to color over time. Could she be the MCU version of Agatha Harkness, a Salem witch who helped out Marvel heroes on occasion?
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
Eventually, the cinematography returns to the regular Marvel Cinematic Universe house style. Visions look like the MCU self. There are people around trick or treating, but nobody appears to be too active. He flies around to give this neighborhood a closer look, and this is likely where he ends up testing the limits of whatever is going in with reality. The presence of a comics accurate costume might hint at other story possibilities too. This goes nicely with Wanda's comic accurate Scarlet Witch Halloween costume. A body flies through the sky in daytime only to land in nighting in front of government agents. This is Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel, now grown up and portrayed by Teyonah Parris. Rambeau has a significant Marvel history, so if she's here, expect potential ties to Captain Marvel too as well. The presence of government agents paint how serious the situation is. Wanda didn't just bring Vision back to life with her powers. She's taken over an entire town to mold into her own reality. Of course, the outside world is going to notice. The question is, what can they do about it? Can they stop her? Can Vision stop her? Can Wanda even stop herself if she wanted to? We will get answers when WandaVision arrives on Disneyplus in December.